I'm a pro freestyler and I'm going to teach you how to stall reset like a pro. Starting off, use this training pack on screen right now. When you're on the training pack, go into shot 1 on this pack, and this is where I'm going to start all of the advice for this shot. This is what it should look like by the end of this video. A perfect setup upwards, into the flip reset, a perfect stall, then whatever you like. So let's start off with the normal setup. So it's basically, well, it is literally just a ceiling shot. So I'd recommend you learn how to ceiling shot before you do this, and also be pretty good at ceiling shots. But there is one big tip with this setup that I will tell you. You want your car's nose facing the ball when you hit off the ceiling. So when I'm landing on the ceiling, I want it facing towards the ball just like that. That means it sets up my stall reset so much easier. So facing the ball, and then you can just boost under the ball. But one other tip I'll give you is to hit the ball on the advertisement banner, but on the nose and center of your car, just like that. This will get the best possible height with the ball and make it just nearly touch the ceiling. Because with these stall resets, you want it as high as possible on the ceiling. You can do it a lot lower down as well, but it's just so much harder when the ball's really low down. I mean, if you're good at them, then you can probably do that, but it's a lot easier when the ball's a lot higher up and you can just tap boost under, then get the reset. So now your setup probably looks like this. You can do a ceiling shot, your car's facing towards the ball and you're stuck here and you don't really know what to do. So what I would recommend you do is, it sounds pretty simple, but all it is just tapping boost to get underneath the ball just like that. It's not rocket science at all. You just tap boost to get under the ball. But you might notice if I only tap boost, then my car is going to look like this, and I just can't get the stall reset. So you need to angle your car downwards a tiny bit. This is pushing downwards on your joystick to make your car face downwards, just like that. So I'm going up to the ceiling, I'm tapping joystick downwards to make my car face to the floor, then I'm boosting to get underneath the ball. But one thing you might see is I'm not actually stalling when I'm just under the ball, because if I did that, then this would happen. I'll just go forwards, because when you stall facing your car downwards, your car moves forwards with the ball. So what you want to do is just be slightly behind the ball. So slightly behind the ball like this, then you can easily get the reset. This is a tap boost. I'm slightly behind the ball here, and as you can see, my car flies towards the ball. But there's one other issue you might be seeing there. My car and ball is too far apart, and I can't do anything with that. So my main tip for you is to make your car and ball kind of like glue, so it's like right together. Like as you can see there, my car and ball is basically touching when I'm doing the stall. You really want this when you do the stall reset. You want your car and ball to be touching basically when you do the stall. It's easier said than done, but with just the right timing you can set it up really well, because if you don't have the car and ball together, it's just so difficult to get the reset. This is probably like my main tip for you. A lot of players struggle with this because they either do it really far back here, like this angle, and you just can't recover at all. The ball just flies away. So really work on having your car and ball stick together a bit like glue. Then that makes it so much easier to do. And one other tip I have, a lot of people, they jump off the ceiling then stall. That is possible, but it's a lot harder to do. I might do this if the ball's really low to the floor, then I jump off and then get the stall. But what I always recommend people to do is don't jump off and let your car fall by itself. This isn't just because it's easier, but you also have the unlimited flip timer, so you're not pressured to do it straight away. So you've got a bit of time to readjust your car and get underneath the ball. So hopefully now I've given all of these tips, you can work on these and try and get the stall, as this mechanic is really difficult. But one thing you might be still struggling with is the recovery. The recovery is really difficult, and I'll show you it now. So I like to class it as kind of like a reverse tornado spin. And the best way to practice this is honestly just practice your normal flip resets and practice recovering with your normal flip resets, because it basically is the exact same motion as it is with a normal flip reset. Like, that's the exact same motion as it is for the stall reset. And how can you practice this, you might be asking. You might not be too strong at this, but I would recommend you learn this first. I've got tutorials on this on my channel, and it's basically this. So practice by putting your car upside down and just recovering, bringing your car's nose upwards like that. Look at my controller overlay, what I'm doing. It's basically, I'm doing this motion here. It's like a reverse tornado spin. And this basically brings my car's nose facing upwards. So it's not like a normal tornado spin, it's a reverse one. But it's like bringing my nose upwards, just like that. Just practice it without the ball and try and get it down really well first. And then you can give it a go with the ball. So it always feels a lot... It feels a lot more weird with a stall reset, because when you stall, it kind of like freezes your car. So it is a lot harder to do it on a stall reset rather than a normal flip reset like that. But one other tip that I mentioned earlier is it's really important to have the ball as high up as possible. If the ball's really high up, I can do the stall, then I've basically got all day to recover. But if your car is a lot lower to the floor, it's a lot harder to recover. So just watch this. I get the stall reset really high up here. And look how long I've got to recover. I've basically got all day to recover. But if I do a really low down one, I don't have any time to recover at all, and I just can't score it. It's so difficult to score. So just keep on practicing these. There's not too much else to say to this, but one thing I would also recommend is be really good at your constant air rolling skills. If you're on Xbox or console, what you can do is fly around the map like this, like really far in the corners. And there's also like workshop maps for Steam users. I really recommend Air Dribble Gauntlets. You can also use ring maps and just practice your constant air rolling. But I would really recommend when you're practicing this, not just to do this, tapping the joystick, tapping the joystick, tapping the joystick. Really learn how to move with the joystick, if you know what I mean. Like, as you can see here, I'm constantly twisting the joystick around, and that makes me really understand the movement of my car. And if you can master this, then your recoveries would be 10 out of 10. Like, you'll just be able to recover really well. Because these recoveries is basically all just your air rolling skills. It's like here, you can learn to just air roll your car upwards. Like, that for me is just a muscle memory. And you kind of want that as well. You just want it to be muscle memory. So there's not too much else to say. It's basically everything to cover. Hopefully you've learned something new. If you have, like and comment, and I'll see you next time.